What's up, West Island? You're watching the very first episode of the West Island Blues Fest. So let's watch episode 1, Getting to Know the West Island Blues. I'm pretty sure you're wondering, who's this guy, right? Well, basically, my name is Patrick. I am the technical director for the West Island Blues Fest. Basically, I'm the guy in charge of setting up the stage, setting up the lights, setting up the sound, setting up the multimedia. Of course, with my crew, which I miss so much. Shout out to them. Anyways, basically enough about me. The whole reason why I decided to be in front of the camera is because we need to support our causes still with this COVID going on. So I decided to create this sort of podcast, YouTube channel, whatever you want to call it. I'm new to this. So basically, we want to promote the West Island. So this first episode, we're going to understand how this all started. Who started this? Why are we doing the West Island Blues Fest? So basically, we have two guests, Errol Johnson and Dimitrios Beis, the two co-founders of the West Island Blues Fest. So let's watch.
My name is Errol Johnson. We're president and founder of the West Island Blues Festival. In my day-to-day life, I'm a financial security advisor. I'm also a city councilor and the deputy mayor for the city of Dollar-des-Hommes.
Awesome. And Jim?
Bonjour tout le monde. Jim Beis, maire de l'arrondissement de Pierrefonds-Roxborough, aussi membre et cofondateur avec M. Johnson pour le Festival Blues de l'Ouest de l'île.
Awesome. Merci, Jim. So I'm going to, guys, bring you back into time. Very first year, 2004, I believe. So, Errol, what was that click, that light bulb moment that decided, let's do a West Island Blues Fest?
Well, it started in a funny way. My wife, Veronica, she was the chairperson of the West Island Black community at the time. And they needed some financial help. So she said to me, Errol, you got to come up with an idea. I need some money. The association needs some money. So what can you do? So I said, I'll think about it. And as you know, I've always loved music. I tried to play the guitar, but I still can't. But anyway, I said, okay, you know, I like blues, and why not try to have a West Island Blues Festival? So I approached the mayor of Dollar-des-Hommes at the time, which was Ed Janishevsky, and I asked him if it's possible that we could use, you know, the park to do the festival. And he liked the idea, and he said yes. And that's where we started. But not only that, that was at the point that I met Jim Beis, good friend, still is, who was at that point working with the city of Dollar-des-Hommes and was responsible for the recreation facilities and activities that happened in the city. He was a director at that point. And Jim was assigned to work with me, putting the Blues Festival together. And I was the guy who had to do the job to go out to reach the musicians and the different people and the volunteers. And Jim was doing the more technical part of setting up where we were going to be in the park and getting it organized. So the day when the activity is happening, that things will roll. Jim, you can take over from here.
As this was really the birth of our West Island Blues Festival, here's the original program from 2004. I mean, we've come a long way since then. And in fact, yes, at that time, Errol and I weren't elected. Both of us loved music. Both of us played music. I was a little more heavy metal at the time, but understood that, you know, blues and music brings communities together. And so the brainchild was really at that moment when it was decided that let's plan something. We did all the logistical work. The sponsorship started coming in, which Errol will talk about. Depuis le début, on était ensemble pour créer un événement dans l'ouest de l'île. Et ça a commencé à Dollar-des-Hommes. Mais le but ultime, c'était pour amasser des fonds pour des organismes dans l'ouest de l'île. So that was really the issue for us. We wanted to not only create a festival to keep people local in the community, to allow them to celebrate close to their homes, but also to raise much needed funds for local nonprofit organizations. Errol, isn't that right?
That's right. And following up on what you were saying, you notice even though we had the first festival in Dollard, we didn't call it the Dollard Blues Festival. We were thinking ahead. You know, we called it the West Island Blues Festival because the objective was to get all the various cities in the West Island be a part of this major event. And today it's beginning to happen in the term that 3 major cities are now part of the West Island Blues Festival. But I'd like to go back a little to speak about WIBF, that's the West Island Black Community Association, and why it was so important at that point to support them. Because as an organization in the West Island, at that time, there were very few Black families on the West Island prior to the Blues Festival. And WIBF was an association whereby families could meet and, you know, get together with the kids and do different activities and chat and eat and have activities, and also a way of motivating the kids, getting them to know a little bit of their culture, because there are people coming from different countries coming together as a body. But the West Island was a beautiful, and still is, place to live. And these families began to meet each other and created that association. It was started by 2 people, and very interesting, the name is the West Island Black Community Association. But one of the founders was a white person whose name was Margaret Jolly, and the other lady was Mrs. Husbands. And, you know, the rest is history. So our first year, we raised $6,229, and we gave that to the West Island Black Community Association. But I might add that what is important about this, and looking back, there are 2 persons that you might know. The former Minister of Immigration, Yolande James, she was a member of WIBF and her family. Maya Johnson from CTV is also a product of WIBF. There are several other members of the community who are very engineers, doctors, business people, and bankers, etc. But they're all a part of coming out of that little association. Jim?
Effectivement, le West Island Blues Festival, première année, on a amassé des fonds pour l'association de la communauté noire de l'Ouest de l'île. Mais par la suite, depuis 2004, on a ajouté et on a appuyé d'autres organismes comme le Refuge des femmes de l'Ouest de l'île, Action Jeunesse de l'Ouest de l'île, West Island Association for the Intellectually Handicapped, Literacy Unlimited, Alzheimer's Group, la Salle Pauline Julien, Call of the Wild, un programme initié par l'SPVM de l'Ouest de l'île. Aussi, le Palliative Care West Island were also beneficiaries through the years. So the model, even though it started with the West Island Black Community Association, we also were mindful of the fact that local organizations on the West Island were also providing vital services. And we've always said, you know, unless you've needed an organization for the support and the services that they offer, you'd never know of them. And so we wanted to not only create the festival for pleasure and for music and to have people gather locally, but also to, put front and center the organizations that are providing, all these services to help particularly our vulnerable populations, and to create a stage for them as well to showcase what they do so well on the West Island, in some cases, for close to 50 years. And so that was really the whole idea behind the festival. And we're one of a kind, Errol. I know we've talked about it before, but there aren't any other festivals that we know of that 100% of the profits and the proceeds go to local nonprofit organizations to help them in their day-to-day operations.
That's very true. And the model that we have is that we're allowed, and that was most important, to donate to local charities. And it's very important because not only that we donate to these charities, but when we do have events, they participate. We have volunteers, and that's very important in terms of having a festival of this nature. it's family oriented, you know. It reaches out into the depth of the community, but music brings people together. It's like a melting pot. It gets everybody together. And we wanted to create that family event to make it so nice that everybody wants to come out on that day.
Je vais laisser Errol parler des commanditaires parce que sans les commanditaires, on ne peut pas faire un blues festival. Mais souvent, on voit Errol et moi sur l'écran en train de promouvoir le festival blues, mais on a un comité. Et dans ce comité, on a d'autres membres qui font un travail extraordinaire dans la planification de ce festival. Entre autres, on a Patrick Roy avec nous aujourd'hui. On a Errol Johnson et moi, évidemment. On a Michael Doig, Johnson, Colin Port, Steve Vivier, Benoît Langevin, Mickey Stanley, Kemba Mitchell.
Yes.
Dans le fond, qu'est-ce qu'on a? Vous voyez dans la photo les sourires parce que les gens ils sont vraiment contents de participer à cet événement parce qu'ils savent à la fin, le but ultime, c'est de promouvoir les organismes, oui, donner un peu de musique et plaisir à la population, but also raise funds. So we have the same Errol core group of volunteers
Exactly.
really that have put this together.
That's
and
right.
The years have added a few here and there.
That's right.
We have to also mention that we've also had other volunteers that have come on board for several years and then for different reasons would have to leave and go to other organizations.
That's right.
Others in the past too that have helped us create this that we're not naming today, but there are many others as well that have come on this committee and made this thing what it is today.
And we have a lot of fun doing it, you know, at our meetings. You know, we work hard, and I'm so happy that each person knows their role, and we can depend on our volunteers that they're going to deliver. We're very happy about that.
And we have, you know, me being the guy that I am, and I know Errol is as well. I mean, I keep all the promotional info, you know, stuff that we've done in the past and the posters and everything. And behind me in one of my offices at home, I have, you know, a collage in the back here of some of the images from some of the few first festivals where we even had at that time, and you can't see it, but we have it in that photo where we had the Prime Minister, Justin Trudeau, if you remember, came to one of our festivals and had a great time. And I know that we have pictures that we're going to be posting as well of that event. But he was there.
Right.
You could see how far-reaching this blues festival was and continues to be not only on the West Island, but in Montreal and hopefully far-reaching beyond that.
And don't forget, Jim, at that time you were doing all the graphics, right?
We were doing all the graphics. And that was the fun part of what we were doing. You see, what we tried to do, Errol, and you know this, and both of us have discussed it with the committee, the idea was to try to keep costs to a minimum and to be able to generate as much revenue as we could for the nonprofit organizations. And so, you know, 99% of what we did, you know, whether it was the booklets, whether it was the posters, the promotional information and products that we put together was all done in-house. And some of the stuff that wasn't done in-house was donated by some of the local businesses. And so it's become a real community event.
Yeah, you're sure right on that, Jim.
Yeah,
so now to get down to the real Patrick, go ahead, because I see you sort of really.
Well, I wanted to say was the key word that you guys all said was community, and that's the whole reason why the West Island Blues Fest is created, from what I understand. And even you, Jim, you mentioned to me I'm a community guy, and that kind of stick to me. So that's why I got involved and wanted to help out our community. And of course, what's going on now, it's more and more important to do that, is to help out our community. But also, this week was supposed to be our West Island Blues Fest VIP night. So unfortunately, we're shut down on that. But do you want to
tomorrow night was supposed to be our VIP night.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this Thursday. So do you guys want to explain what we did with the VIP night and what was the proceeds to do?
Before we go to the VIP night, just before that, I think it's very important for me at this point to mention Mayor Monique Worth, the mayor of Pierrefonds, who joined with the West Island Blues Festival very early when we started. And in fact, they were responsible for City of Pierrefonds providing the stage, as you know, and also the facilities and the place where we have our VIP night in Pierrefonds at the Pierrefonds Cultural Center. And that's very important because that's a part of our growth. What we do for VIP night is that's where we raise a major part of our donations to various organizations by putting on a VIP night, which is pretty much supported by a number of the restaurants in the West Island area. And Jim, maybe you could take over from here in terms of...
On avait le VIP chaque année à Pierrefonds, levée de fonds pour à peu près 120 à 150 personnes à l'intérieur dans le centre culturel de Pierrefonds. On avait des restaurants qui donnaient de la nourriture. On avait de la musique. C'était une soirée VIP. Effectivement, c'était un événement où on avait le plus de revenus possible pour cet événement. Et vous pouvez imaginer avec un événement comme ça, d'annuler un événement comme ça, on va avoir un impact cette année parce qu'on ne fait pas de soirée VIP. Mais peu importe, Errol l'a mentionné, on avait une entente quand même avec l'arrondissement et la ville de Pierrefonds avant. Et c'est pour cette raison qu'on a appelé le festival le West Island Blues Festival, parce qu'on pensait qu'à l'avenir, on aura des négociations à faire avec les villes et les arrondissements. Et c'est ça qu'on voit depuis quelques années. Et je vais laisser Errol vous dire depuis cette année qu'est-ce qu'on avait planifié avec une autre ville de l'ouest de l'île. Errol, so tell them about the big development that we had this year and we were ready to announce. And we had announced and what we had planned for this year with our newest partner coming on board.
Well, our newest partner coming on board is the city of Point Claire. And John Belvedere, the mayor, has graciously accepted to be a part of the partnership in this West Island Blues Festival, and we're so happy about it. And this year, in fact, we're going to have another event as a satellite event that was going to take place in August of this year. And it was going to happen in the village in Point Claire. Unfortunately, because of COVID, that has to be on hold until possibly next year. But so next year we'll be having 3 events: the VIP night, which is going to be in Pierrefonds.
Errol, I'm going to cut you off because I'm not going to divulge it today. But there's another city that's approached me on the West Island that's interested in coming on board as well. So there may be 4 next year, folks. And this is what's happening now. Another city that has committed and wants to discuss the possibility of them getting involved again next year. Le VIP, le Festival à Dollars-des-Ormeaux et le Festival Satellite planifié à Pointe-Claire pour cette année. Malheureusement, on ne peut pas les faire parce qu'à cause des restrictions qu'on a du gouvernement et pour protéger la population aussi, on ne pouvait pas faire ça à l'extérieur. Et c'est pour cette raison qu'on a décidé de faire un festival virtuel cette année. So, Errol, I don't know if you want to talk a little bit about the virtual festival that we have planned this year because we can't have the other events.
Yes. Well, the virtual festival, in fact, we were in a meeting with the committee and we were throwing around ideas and say, well, what are we going to do? Because these associations, they need money. And normally they would have had other activities to raise funds. Now it's even more difficult for them in terms of raising funds. So I think it might have been you, Jim, who came up with an idea, say, why not go virtual? Wasn't it you? Yeah.
I think it was me, Errol. I think it was me. But you know what? This was a collective.
I know, but
we're all throwing around suggestions, and none of it can be done without the committee really agreeing to it. But yes,
the committee agreed, and we jumped on it. That was a good thing about it. I would say, let's make it happen. So
you had the tech guy as well looking at that option.
Yeah, and thanks to Pat and his tech, IT, and technical savvy. We're able to put this together and make it something to be remembered. So Patrick has come through for us really big in assuming the role of putting all this together, of course, with everyone's help. But like I said before, none of this would be possible without the expertise of every single one of our members.
Exactly.
And here Patrick has assumed this role, graciously assumed this volunteer role to put this together for us, and we're very thankful for it.
Thank you, Pat. And believe you me, it is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. We know that, but we're going to make it very good so you'll all enjoy it, you know. And one of the things that I've noticed over the years, even in the growth of the Blues Festival, a couple of years ago, I got a call from a large corporation. And this was what the person said to me, Mr. Johnson, I've been watching the West Island Blues Festival growing, and we want to be a part of it. We want to be one of your sponsors. And that was a proud moment for us, you know, because sometimes you're there doing something and you don't realize that there are people who are looking at what you're doing and taking you seriously, okay? Because we've always done what we have to do professionally. We do it right so that we can attract sponsors, because we cannot survive without sponsors. We don't get any funding from the government. And if we did get funding from the government, we would not be able to give monies to the local charities as we want to do. So that's why we go that route, by having sponsors that support us. And we want to reassure our sponsors that we will continue to do the best that we can to satisfy them, to give them the exposure that they desire, and also to make sure that we all share this growth and success together. Jim?
So let's get Errol to the reason why we're here today. On va annoncer le festival virtuel avec la date. Errol, do the honors and present the date and the event for what we have planned this year. Of course, more information is going to follow. However, this is really a teaser to give you some of the background of the festival, but also to announce the date and celebrate alone together through the beauty of music, and raise funds and awareness for local organizations on our West Island that are serving, and now especially are doing incredible work, especially with what we're living through as the West Island is, and the people are nervous and anxious. And these organizations that are benefiting from this year, a lot of them are on the ground and are helping our fellow citizens. So Errol, when is the event, and what can people look forward to?
Well, this event is going to be on the 11th of July. That was the date that we were supposed to have the outdoor concert at Dollar de Zomo. But because of the COVID-19, we said, well, it's not going to stop us. We're going to do something. So we're going to have a virtual West Island Blues Festival. And we are lining up for you some great artists that has performed before at the West Island Blues Festival. And they've graciously offered their time to support this virtual event. We're not going to name them today, Jim. For the next session, we'll name them, right?
Le 11 juillet, tout le monde, l'information va suivre concernant les bands et les musiciens qui vont faire des présentations cette journée-là. Mais c'est le 11 juillet, même date qu'on avait pour le Festival Blues à Dollar des Ormeaux. Mais cette fois-ci, c'est un festival virtuel. Et comme j'ai dit, on va annoncer très bientôt les artistes qui vont jouer cette journée-là. Mais on va annoncer d'autres choses aussi. On a d'autres surprises aussi pour cet été, pour les gens qui suivent de près le Festival Blues. Errol, I got to tell you that people on the West Island and abroad, even in Montreal, and we've had people come from the Maritimes, we've had people come from Ontario with campers waiting for this festival to take place. And I have to tell you that the brand that's been created through this festival is unbelievable, and it's so far-reaching that everyone looks forward to this on the West Island, and everyone talks about it. So this is one of the reasons why we couldn't let that go by this year and had to present a festival like this, because although it is limited, although it is much smaller than we've done in the past, it still allows for folks to sit in their homes, not only watch it live, but can also watch it on replay and be able to see what the festival is all about and what we do all these years since 2004, the 17th edition.
That's true. You're very right. And so we're going to make it very good. We're going to make it great. And we're going to do the best we can to make it happen and to keep you informed as to what we're doing. Jim, maybe you should mention the associations that will be our beneficiaries this year.
Well, we have, of course, the West Island Community, Black Community Association that's benefiting. We have Action Jeunesse de l'Ouest de l'Île. We have Literacy Unlimited. We have the Alzheimer's Group, and we have the West Island
Women's Shelter.
And so those are the 5 organizations that are benefiting. And for those of us, and even the ones that aren't necessarily involved in community, everyone knows these organizations and the work that they do. And so we're asking, and we will be announcing the way that people can help and contribute for this event in the future, in the near future. But these are the organizations that we all know of that will be benefiting from this event. And so we're very excited about it. Not only are we raising, like we said, Errol, but we're also raising awareness and allowing for these organizations to have a platform to showcase their services and what they do in the West Island, because we know with what we're living with today, these organizations will be and have already been solicited by so many more people, and we have to make sure that we take care of these groups that help us on a regular basis.
100%. You said it just right. As a matter of fact, while we're here in this discussion, I'm looking at our T-shirts here. They're kind of pretty, eh? Maybe we should print some more, eh?
Errol, we can't drop the bombs yet here. We have to make sure we have things that we can announce as we go forward.
Yeah.
Sur ça, mesdames et messieurs, vous pouvez réserver la date le 11 juillet pour le Festival Blues de l'Ouest de l'Île de cette année. So again, reserve the date, July the 11th for this year's virtual festival, folks. I'm Jim Beis, Mayor of Pierrefonds-Roxborough. Pleased and honored to be a part of not only this committee, but to represent my community as well in the way that I do. And so, Errol, Patrick, thank you very much for having us and having me there today with you. And we're counting on everybody to be there at this event and their support. Go on the West Island Blues Festival site. You can follow the information there. Follow our social media as well. There's going to be a lot of information that's going to go out, and people will be aware of exactly what to do and how the festival will be presented. We will not be, of course, printing the information that we've had in the past. However, all of it in the same format will be available electronically. So, folks, we're asking for you to stay tuned, and more information will follow very, very soon.
Thank you very much, Jim. Well done. Thanks.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you very much for this. Now we get to know more about the West Island Blues Fest. So as we said, please subscribe, please like, follow our YouTube, follow our Facebook. So July 11th, be there. Get Uber Eats, get Skip the Dishes, get some local restaurants. Let's get all this together and get our community. We need you to help out our friends. So stay tuned. We'll have interviews with our musicians, interviews with sponsors, interviews with other people with the committee. We're going to have much more. So please stay tuned, stay safe, have fun.